Hi, we are at High Output's Charles River Studios in Canton, Massachusetts.
With High Output Academy and WIFVNE. I'm Meghan Young.
And I'm Alison Cupples.
And this is Backlit, Account Manager Edition. An account manager is the client-facing representative of the rental company. So we're the ones that you're going to speak to when you start your order, during your order, and at the end of your order.
Account managers are the frontline salespeople for a lot of companies, specifically. For film and video at rental houses, we are kind of the main liaison for all of our clients. So any client who calls up and is looking to rent something from us, we are kind of their first point of reference for High Output. So we're the first person every client speaks to a lot of times, and we help the client through their entire rental process from start to finish, all the way through the billing. High Output is a little bit different than a lot of your traditional rental houses in that we have our hands in a lot of industries. There are a lot of rental houses that only do film and video lighting, or only do theatrical lighting, or only do live event production. So we deal with clients from many different industries on a daily basis.
The entertainment industry is a pretty small industry, and especially within Boston, there's only so many local equipment, camera, grip and electric rental houses. And we all talk to each other, especially the account managers. And the reason why we do that is we want to make sure that all of our client shoots are successful. So there are times where we might not have a specific light available, but that other rental house does. And so we'll actually source that equipment from another company and bring it in for your rental and vice versa. A really great example of that was this April when Boston was very busy with multiple features and television shows and commercials filming all at the same time, and everyone needed a dolly.
So all three companies were already committed to rentals with our dollies. We were finding that there were a couple of rentals we couldn't quite service with the way the availability was working out. So we called another rental house to see if they had a dolly we could sub-rent, and then they did not, so we called another rental house. Well, it turned out we ended up all working together in order to make sure every single job had a dolly and no one was left without one. There were definitely a bunch of, okay, so if you rent your dolly to this one, and then I rent my dolly to this one, and then I'll just sub my dolly over to you for that one, and then we get it back over here, it'll all work out for everyone. So we had to all work together across all three companies to make sure each of our clients had a successful shoot.
And what's really interesting about that is the clients had no idea that that was happening. But there was a pile of phone calls and emails and a little bit of panic, and then a lot of brainstorming, and we all figured it out, and every shoot was successful.
A lot of the times on the big budget feature films, you'll have very experienced gaffers. They'll know exactly what they want. They'll give you a list. A lot of times the smaller projects might come to you and kind of pick your brain a little bit. I need to shoot a night scene. My budget's this. I don't really know what tools to use. What thoughts do you have? So I think there's some difference there between kind of the large budget and the small budget things. The large budget orders are often larger. That often means we encounter more availability issues and have to work through some of those sourcing of equipment details more.
The difference between the large budget and small budget is also budget. So how much can a feature film afford versus a small student project? And it becomes more of a collaboration as well of the smaller budget films may not be able to afford the some lighting equipment, but we as account managers know, hey, this is another really great light. It's at a lower price point, but it's going to give you what you want as well. It's a lot of collaboration of back and forth of how can we financially make this possible for you to be able to afford things and still have a successful shoot as well. We don't see as many women in technical roles as much as we wished, but we are starting to see more, which is great. There are a lot of women in production roles, as production coordinators and producers and production managers, which is awesome.
When I first got out of college, I was very interested in the technical roles. I had done camera department. I was really interested in lighting. I wanted to learn more about lighting, and I was out freelancing. Many of the sets I was on, I didn't see a single female in the lighting and grip departments at all. At that time, I think there was one female grip in town, and it felt kind of like a clique that was hard to break into as a woman, and it felt almost inaccessible in sometimes. So it is definitely improved since that time. You see a lot more women starting to play key roles both in grip and lighting departments, and that's very exciting. At least I'm starting to see a lot more locally, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that it's clear that there's still kind of a rarity, because it's true, every time a woman calls here and I'm working with a woman in a key grip or in that department or in the lighting department, I get really excited.
There's also not a lot of women in account management roles.
That's true. There are very few women doing account manager roles.
I'm starting to see a little more, but it's primarily a male-dominated industry, but we're working hard to fix that.
When the law for the film tax incentive in Massachusetts was first written, it was written with a sunset built into it, meaning that at a certain time, essentially it would be eliminated and no longer exist. The film industry as a whole, across all the companies, the local unions, and the local crew members, fought hard to eliminate that sunset built into the film tax incentive. It was written out of the law through an amendment last year and has become permanent. So now the film tax incentive in Massachusetts is permanent. There's no threat of it going away.
It is bringing a lot of work to Boston, which is really exciting to see so much film opportunity coming here, which is also giving more work to local communities because people are renting locations and using locations, equipment houses because more people are needing equipment, and employment opportunities as well for crew members. Because there's so much work coming to Boston, we need more places for people to film in a studio. Not everything can be on location. In the past, they've used a lot of warehouses or empty buildings, but now there are more studios being built. They're building places that you can rig from the ceilings, you have good climate control, you have loading docks, you have a place to put catering and wardrobe, and a place for people to build their sets as well. We at High Output also have studios that Alison and I work to manage, Charles River Studios and Studio 86. And we've had feature films in our studios, and we have had many commercials, photo shoots, even events. So what we're always working on is what is happening today in the film industry. What commercial is going to film 3 days from now? What feature film is coming in and going to start filming
Next week.
2 weeks from now? What theater company is putting on a show in a month? So our jobs are, we're always working on something. There really isn't a downtime because High Output provides equipment for so many aspects of the industry.
A prime example of kind of the I don't really know what I'm going to be working on tomorrow is I recently took 2 days off from work, and I wrote a to-do list right before I left. And I got back and I basically had to throw that to-do list away and start all over because everything had changed in 2 days.
It's true. All of her orders turn into grip trucks and studio jobs.
Oh, so true.
I'm Meghan Young, and I'm a senior account executive for High Output.
I'm Alison Cupples, and I am a senior account executive at High Output.
You can reach us at rentals@highoutput.com.
Or by calling us at 781-364-1800.
Your answer was so much better. Use that one.